Listen up. We've got orders.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Gene Machine 8 here, joined by my partner Daxby. Daxby's going to be teal, I'm yellow, and we're with the rando Duraboy. All three of us elected to go U.S. forces. We've got two airborne, blue and teal. Blue is electing to go with his Pathfinders, and then teal is dropping his machine gun right in the middle, fuel. The three guys that we're playing against are in a party. Both of them are or all three of them are from Ukraine. So we're trying to give them some encouragement to keep up the good fight. I'm sliding down my lane with my scouts up at the top. You can see I'm going against Grusher.
Rifleman squad
Orange.
deployed.
Daxby's got his machine gun set up. He zoned off that Kret. I've got my first rifleman heading out. Daxby's got his rifleman on the field. Second Pathfinder for blue.
Rifleman ready.
Second rifleman coming out for me. Daxby's got that machine gun set up inside the window over here.
He's got to reload eventually. Weapon support center is up and running.
So I just built my weapons support center. I'm going to start getting the machine gun and a Zook out. So by this point, my opponent has his machine gun, two grenadier squads, one's in production, and then his engineers. So I've matched him with my three squads out, and I need to get one more squad out.
That's it. Point side.
I think it just takes a little bit longer as U.S. forces because you had to build first the barracks, and then you had to build Tier 2 as the weapons support center. So you're usually running behind getting that early production out unless you just drop troops as airborne.
Enemy contact.
So I'm in contact over here. I want to keep them a little bit at a distance. I'm running toward this building over here so I can get inside a building, but then it didn't let me because Orange was about to hop
HMG
into
team
this building.
deploying.
So I'm going to dive into this building to try and give myself some cover. I'm bringing my machine gun and then my two squads forward. So I made him drop that first squad. Saw him occupying. I'm not yet able to breach because I don't have a grenade. So I'm putting both squads inside this building here and hoping to inflict some damage onto his machine gun. My scouts starting to get weak.
Munitions point is being attacked. Motorized assault teams are ready to deploy.
So I'm putting some hate on him. Got him down one module already. Looks like Daxby's doing pretty well in the middle. He's grabbed a lot of land.
Territory sector claimed by the enemy.
If this guy just wants to chill in a building right here, that's fine. He's not grabbing any land at all.
Enemy
Daxby's already
activity
grabbed
near our
land.
munitions point.
And then blue is struggling against the coastal defenders over here. I think they can just get so many forces out so quickly as coastal.
Unit trained and ready.
So I'm going to dive my machine gun in there so he can start to cover this avenue over here.
A victory point is under
Clearly
attack.
he's going to try and
We
either
must
breach or
act.
throw a grenade on, so I was lucky to get the suppression with my machine gun right when he got his upgrade. So I think I just got it right in the nick of time. I'm bringing my weasel forward with its
A
howitzer
victory point is under
so I can
enemy
start to
control
lay
now.
down some hate on the machine gun over here. Still firing at me. He's made me drop two models.
Make it quick and make it loud.
Our opponent has all victory points under their control. Act now.
So got the howitzer firing. Immediately starts getting to work.
Getting the greasers to work. Mechanized
It would have
upgrade
been
on the way.
smart if he had thrown his grenadiers around behind my building. Either try and breach or throw grenades from that avenue. But I got the kill on his machine gun, and I've got two squads that are able to start assaulting on my
Territory
side.
lost.
So Teal got his first upgrade as a bazooka squad. Let's see.
light up the battlefield at your
So he
command.
actually might have started with a LMG first if he didn't suspect vehicles coming from purple. Yes, it looks like he started with just the LMG, using that to capture. His assault
Territory
squad
point is no longer under our
on the
control.
VP, capturing land now. Blue is struggling against his coastal defenders, building a bunker right there. Don't think that's a smart play to be trading against a bunker
Mechanized
with your
center
machine
upgrade
gun.
complete. Bazooka squad is equipped and ready. We have
So he
vehicles
needs to
ready
have
to be
some type of
dispatched to the
indirect
front.
fire. I think it's critical that when you're going against a coastal defender, you gotta have artillery, either mortars or pack howitzer. So I'm starting to
The
assume this
sector's been overrun. It's theirs
fuel point
now.
that's just north of the middle lane to allow teal to go down to the south and start helping blue.
M29. Weasel here.
Bringing the weasel down to start to chase this threat out of here.
New target. Give him an answer, boys.
So I know I'm beat one squad that's unupgraded versus two squads. I'm hightailing it out
Enemy
of here.
forces are converging on a fuel
Back toward
point.
my machine gun to hopefully snare him with the pen on the machine
Bazooka
gun.
squad reporting in.
Got my first bazooka squad out. So teal is starting to lay some hate on that coastal defender. That should
They
be a
pushed
nice
us off
fight.
a sector. The enemy is stealing our munitions. Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
So teal is actually the one
An
that
entire
gets
gun
this
crew has
kill
been
on the
killed.
bunker.
We've lost control of the sector.
Nicely done. I was a little overwhelmed by these two upgraded squads pushing me back. I think I lost my machine gun at this point.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Definitely not going to win that fight. Just get out of there. Don't waste any manpower. I've got two squads holding here in reserve, trying to cap the land right here,
They've taken our victory
using
point.
them as observers for my pack howitzer. If I was monitoring the situation better, I would have turned my pack howitzer and be laying fire on this cluster of soldiers that have been suppressed over here. Right now I'm focused on my weasel, trying to decap as much land as possible. So I've got that squad good to go. Trying to enact a strong point here in the middle on my allies' flank. We don't care as much about this top lane. I captured it early, got us some VPs, got us some resources, and now I'm trying to hold this
We've
top
lost the
lane for my
territory
ally
sector.
teal so that he doesn't get flanked through this avenue.
The enemy
Right now
have
we
taken
know there's some
territory
rogue
from us.
squads operating in the middle of our
Weasel light
seam right
vehicle
here.
is destroyed.
For some reason, nobody's capped this point down here. And I know I've got orange on my flank as well.
One of our sectors is now in enemy hands.
So we're 8 minutes in. I know that my opponent has gone assault grenadiers because I've seen him upgrade 2 of those squads already. I'm just going to hold the seam. Teal is able to push out a little bit and probe for the enemy, as well as support blue. And I've got a collection of ground forces over in our middle lane, supported by my pack howitzer. So I'm going to get everybody ready to go.
Commander, we should spend our munitions.
I'm going to launch my assault with all of my forces together.
M8 Greyhound is deploying.
So I didn't know it at this point, but my enemy is
Sector
only
gone.
stacking
We must
these
take it
assault
back.
squads. I'm going to give myself vision by hopping into the building. Also have cover in both these buildings,
Sector
so I have high
lost.
ground
No
firing
contact.
down on these two squads, then shooting through the fence over here. I know he's about to throw grenades at me, so I hop out,
Commander, we've lost the sector.
then get back in the building for cover. Howitzer's inflicting a lot of damage, but honestly, he's hurting my squad a lot too. Start grabbing back the land, because he's just retreated 2 squads, and I can see 2 other squads there, so I know he probably doesn't have a lot of else. And I've got my Greyhound coming in as well. Usually I upgrade it to
SSF
give it that
commandos
30
are
cal.
available to deploy,
It makes it
Commander.
a lot more potent against ground forces, especially this early in the game. There's not a lot to
The
counter 'em.
sector's been overrun. It's theirs now.
Crew under strength!
So all 3 of my opponent's squads that are not retreating are on me right now. Greyhound comes out just in the nick of time. Between my howitzer and my Greyhound, I'm able to zone these guys off, make them retreat.
squad
So
of
now he has
SSF
4
commandos
squads
has
that are
taken
back
to
in
the
his
field.
base. That's his last squad in his base. Teal is asking for help at this point, so I'm going to keep my Greyhound in the vicinity. Luckily, he's not focused on the Greyhound, he's focused on chasing Teal. And I'm able to inflict some module damage on Teal, or on Purple, without him really probing or trying to zone me off.
A fuel point is being lost.
He's trying to operate deep behind our lines. And Teal, right at the nick of time, has his Sherman coming out to help too. So you can see that 30 cal is operating
losing
now,
a
and it's
fuel
just
point.
draining that Grenadiers have. Got my SSS squad coming in. So right now they're attacking us
We have
piecemeal.
infantry
I'm able to
standing by,
fight
Commander.
Purple one-on-one, and Orange has finally got all of his troops healed. He's likely coming down. Let's see, let's give it the full map. So Orange has clumped all of his soldiers. He's coming down the top right lane right now. He's got his utility vehicle focused in the back, absolutely draining this munitions. And then he's got a second cluster
Deploying engineers
of
now.
Grenadiers coming forward. Pretty fortuitous for me because I'm able to hit him with superior numbers. Get in nice and close so his grenades aren't able to impact me. And then he should have used those forces to delay me right here while his 3 other squads can
Commander,
attack
we
and
should
come hit me
spend
at the
our
same time.
munitions.
Moving my pack forward so it can support, and I've got 2 other squads in addition to my Greyhound in reserve. And then he starts to hit me 3-on-1 on this point, so I'm just going to decap if I can, and then bounce. I've got my other squads up to the north grabbing our victory point to try and end this thing as soon as possible. Hold the line with my squads and my pack howitzer. Get that Greyhound healed up, and then get it back into the fight. So you can see he still doesn't have any type of anti-vehicle, besides these squads are just going to shoot their snare. So he's strong anti-infantry, but he's got nothing in the line of anti-vehicle. Make use of my cover, fire some short-range howitzer, and I've got my victory point up on top. Right now, we're playing it pretty well, but we've got the 2v1 on Orange, and then we'll shift
Reports
over
of
and
enemy
we'll get
movement
the
near
2v1
our
on
victory
Purple.
point.
Greyhound's all healed up. Start to decap their fuel sources over here. And then I've got a squad coming in reserve that'll come recap everything behind it.
Victory point now under enemy control.
Purple investing heavily in anti-tank. He knows that Teal rush to tanks, so he's going to try and invest in anti-tank to defeat that advantage. So we know there's 1 anti-tank forward over here. I'm going to rush in with my Greyhound because it can move a lot faster. If you rush it with the Sherman, you don't always make it behind their line before they're training. One hit is all it took, and then we're using infantry to chase that second anti-tank weapon.
You have command points ready to spend.
And I finally got my T4 ready to go.
A fuel point is being seized by the enemy.
Waiting for my Sherman to come out before I push too heavily against these
P-47 strafing
Grenadier
runs are
squads.
now available,
I know
Commander.
that if I attacked them with all of my forces at the same time, if I waited to group them all up and then
They've
attack
pushed
them,
us off a
that I will beat them, but
enemy
it's not
movement
worth
near a
manpower
victory
or
point.
time expenditure. Just get your point, force them to have to delay and decap it,
They've captured a
and then
victory
continue
point.
to take as much land as you can.
You heard the man. We're up. Prepare to move.
Let's go before those SkyTrain boys get all the glory.
So blue and teal at this point working pretty well together. You can just get so many ground forces out as teal, as airborne forces, and he's got 2 Shermans out right now at the same time.
Now what?
Contrast that. So in the same amount of time, when you build T3, I was able to get my
We're
Greyhound
losing a
out to
territory
win that
point.
mid-game
Enemy contact.
anti-infantry fight, although it delayed me to Shermans. So I have my first Sherman out finally at minute 16. As teal, he had his out at probably
One of our
minute 8
munitions
or 9
points is being
for his first
neutralized.
one, because he skipped straight to T4.
Enemy forces are converging on a fuel point. Commander, we've lost a sector.
So working with the Greyhound and the unupgraded Sherman, you can see the 76mm Sherman.
We've lost control of a sector.
We're going to ride up to the top star real quick. We thought there was going to be more resistance up at the top. Turns out there was nothing up here. We didn't need the vehicle cover. Because Orange's squads are still down south of us. Looks like they're heading toward us to the north. They're not able to oppose our vehicles at all. Majority of Teal's forces are still here in the south. We designated a vehicle healing
We have
center
the upper
right here
hand.
where both
Keep
of our engineers
pushing.
are going to stage at this building, heal tanks that approach
One of
that
our
vicinity.
sectors is now in enemy hands.
And then there's really nothing Orange can do at this point. He's going to try and hit us with the bazooka. That's too easy.
300
I
points
called
remain
in
in
for fire
skirmish.
at this point just to zone them off.
Thunderbolt going down! Say
Knew that they had anti-air, so I knew they were still going to shoot me down, but it was enough to force him away from us. So he's not too close to the vehicles and getting any snares on us. We're going to dart forward with our vehicles. You want to keep your vehicles on the move. You don't want them to keep them stationary. I'm going to start deploying my vehicles further to the south. I know there's an anti-tank gun here, so I'm going to hit it from behind. We knew vaguely that he had a flak in the rear. We didn't know where it was. And I just saw it out of the corner of my eye over here, so I'm going to push forward and take that flak as well.
Enemy down to 250 points. Repeat, 250.
So Purple is hurting big time right now. He's just got his utility truck, 2 Gustas, and a Grenadier squad. Red, it looks like, is doing much better. He's got 2 artillery pieces, and then he's got plenty of coastal defenders. Although he's just wedged into the corner over here. He's not supporting his allies in the center. Not at all.
They have
Blue's
200
going for the
points remaining.
Chaffies and the Greyhound combos. He's just sticking with T3, and it's enough to overwhelm those coastal defenders. looks like he's upgrading his his Greyhound right now. He's giving it the 50 cal, and he's going to give it back on the skirts. Chaffee is utterly useless against infantry. They're still able to decoy weapons, but if you need anti-infantry, you gotta go with the Greyhound. So he's coordinating his movements between his infantry and then his ground forces. Infantry moving forward. Zone off those bazooka squads, followed by the vehicles. Right now it's all over but the crying. We've got SSF squads moving forward. Finally got my tanks upgraded.
Commandos are reporting in.
So I've still got my Greyhound 2-star tank
99
1-star.
fighters here. Thunderbolt going down! Safe! Losing it! Barrel out!
I called for fire just to zone him off. He's still got his Whirlpool 1 that shot down my plane. We're maintaining our vehicle heal station here in the center.
Check the line! Capture point under attack! Enemy is down to only 100 points!
Purple sees all of our tanks. He's elected to build 2 anti-tank guns. He's herding in the way of infantry. He's only got his 2 Goose Destroyer squads.
We have infantry standing by, Commander.
Right now you can see the stats. I've killed 75 infantry from purple. He's killed 40 total. 4-to-1 vehicle destroyed. Very lopsided when it comes to orange because he didn't build any vehicles.
Their line's breaking. Only
Just that
50 points
utility truck.
left.
Right now I'm just content to leave my infantry forward, prevent anyone from leaving his base, and then we've got our tank army in the center. Continuing to heal up each
Keep up
other's
the
tanks.
pressure. They only have 25 points left.
Last 3 squads from the orange rolling forward.
Put the pressure on. They only have 10 points left. Skies are clear.
See, orange has absolutely nothing left in this game. He's got a huge manpower float. 0 units alive, 0 in production.